Explain what life is like as an active gang member in a Folsom level 4.
Well, for me, um, it's a saying goes, um, you don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. You mind your business, and you stay out of bullshit. Um, as far as racial tension and riots and all that, yeah, you were like anybody would have the jitters or whatever, the what they call it, the butterflies or whatever. But you adapted to the intensity. You adapted to how far the things go, whatever. And for me, like I said, being institutionalized, it was just I don't know. I don't want to say that I felt like that was my home, but I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable in the prison, and the surroundings, everything that goes on in that environment. Um, it can be scary at times because the first time I went to Folsom uh, level 4 beef facilities, I remember me and the homies was at the basketball court, and we seen some ruckus in the whites and the Mexican side of the yard. And the next thing you know, guys walking around the court, walking around the track, and Mexican guy. And next thing you know, you just seen all his fucking insides. That's just,
Wow.
he's trying to hold himself in. He's trying to hold his stomach in, his abdomen in. Ooh. But you just seen all that shit. And this is what I mean about desensitized, because the only proper way for me to not be like, overwhelmed, with shock or whatever, I just started shooting jokes. I just like, what the fuck? You think he gonna fucking sew himself up? But deep inside, I was like, nigga, it's real up in this motherfucker. Motherfucker, shut the fuck up, But that was my first thing. It's like I'll take you back. So New Folsom, as you probably know, is right next to Old Folsom.
Okay.
And old Folsom is like, man, I don't know how old that place is, right? But when you drive up to it, it looked like this old township castle, right? And don't nothing but murders going on in that motherfucker, right? And you as a youngster, it's just known to be intimidated. It's just like, damn, man, I'm going up in there. And like I said, how I deal with it is sense of humor. And I'm like, man, is this what they talking about? This motherfucker look like Castle Grayskull on He-Man. I had to bust laughing and shit. But deep inside, I was like, I don't want to go to this motherfucker, but they sent me to New Folsom right across the street, beef facility, but that was just as dangerous too, because at that time they had transferred a large portion of people that was in Old Folsom over to beef facility because due to a riot, racial riot that had took place.
Damn. Yeah, man. Do you have I know you mentioned you remember EazyE being around. Capone told us his story about being in the studio when Easy first started messing around with the idea of singing Boys in the Hood, because HBO, the group that was supposed to sing it, wasn't feeling the six foes and the Jerry curls and the references and things like that. But do you remember EazyE coming around the hood back in the day?
Yeah, well, see, we know him as Eric. I know he's, people know his government, but that's who we knew him by, as Eric. Like Capone was saying, his first or second baby mama is my homegirl Joyce, which is from my hood. Our brothers are from my hood, and so Joyce and Eric had a spot in it was called the Shirley Towers, right across the street from the Shangri-Las where that party took place. So we would see Eric all the time, picking up Joyce or taking Joyce home or just hanging out or whatever. Plus, we knew Eric through his cousin, rest in peace. Before I knew Eric, I knew his cousin, which led to him being in the position where he was at, which was Horace. His cousin Horace was cool as fuck. Rest in peace. So Eric used to come to the hood all the time, and the last time I had seen him, I was standing on the corner of 69th Way and Long Beach Boulevard, selling. And he was waiting on Joyce to come out of the apartments. And just like Cass said, we know him, just like the movie or whatever, we know him as being, this big drug dealer, which he was. And so I'm like, hey, man, dude, man, let me, sell a couple of packs for you, whatever. And I remember the last thing he said, didn't know what the hell he was talking about, but he was like, no, I'm about to get out of the game, man. I'm going to start doing this little music shit. And that was the last thing he said to me. And next thing I know, he's blown up as EazyE, Unfortunately, I wasn't there at the, studio when all that transpired with Capone and HBO and all that, but we heard about it, and, those are facts, even though I didn't witness. But those are facts. It's known. It's known around the hood. So,
man, that's crazy. Let's wrap it up by talking about your podcast, man. I know you're in the beginning stages of it. What's your mission with it? What are some of your ideas? Do you have a name for it yet?
All right. So I started off as the Snapback Show. If you go on my YouTube channel, I'll have 3 interviews up there, I believe. And I was doing everything myself, trying to learn how to interview, learn how to edit, and trying to get the right cameraman. And then I just, due to work and everything else, kind of got discouraged because I couldn't learn. I didn't feel that I was putting up quality content as far as the editing go, right? But now, I think things are coming into place, and now I want to also create, along with my street interviews, I'm in the works of creating a podcast with Capone and maybe my homeboy Footy. I'll collaborate with my homeboy Foots Productions, who shoot lowrider functions. And so I think I'm gonna just keep the name the Snapback Show. Because I like the name. It's very catchy, and the theory behind, the thought behind that name is when I wanted to do interviews and ask these questions of these social issues that's going on, my goal is I wanted to try to snap people back to reality, because I feel a lot of people are living in delusion. Whether it's designed by music or entertainment, whatever, in the water, in the air, or whatever. I feel a lot of people are living in delusion and going by a narrative that's fitting the higher ups, the powers that be. So I wanted to snap people back to some type of normalcy, and that's why that's the purpose of calling it the Snapback Show.
I like that, man. You have my full support. Whenever, like I said, we'll sit down or have a conversation, I would definitely love to help you in any way I could. Get a bunch of questions together, man, and I'm an open book. I'll definitely help you out. We'll get together offline. But is there any shout-outs you want to give, man, or any tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, man. You can find me on YouTube, The Snapback Show, Instagram, TikTok. And like I said, I'm in the works of putting more content up. And also, I do DJ on the side, so I go by DJ Wingman also. But I want to give a shout out to my boy Big Capone, for hooking us up, man, and telling a factual story. A lot of these podcasts and YouTubers, they telling stories that's either embellished or, secondhand stories or whatever, but I want to give props, you know what I'm saying? and to you know what I'm saying, for keeping it real and keeping, you know what I'm saying, trying to get authentic and genuine, real guys that was living these moments and these experiences, having these experiences on these streets and giving them a platform to tell their real stories, you know. I also want to give a shout out to my homie KT, you know. And man,
man, dog,
yes,
thank you,
sir.
man. It's definitely a pleasure, man. I look forward to staying in touch with you, and hit me up anytime, like I said. All right.
All right, same as well.
I'll talk to you soon, man. Peace, dog.
Peace.